Question 1465. Is it wrong to give a homeless person booze or drugs?
I don't know. They probably need it more than I fucking do.
Math Pig.
Is it wrong to give a homeless person booze or drugs?
Yeah.
Well, it depends.
Does it?
Yes.
On?
Well, the drugs could be a headache tablet. The man could be hungover from the night before.
No. We're not. We're talking about.
We're talking dope. We're
We're
about
talking
narcotics. Okay.
Yes.
Recreational drugs.
See, again, it goes down to the system. Do you have the injection rooms and the injection houses? Do they have? Are they defined as okay?
Are they defined as okay?
Do we know the person?
Somebody who is physically addicted to booze or drugs.
Yeah.
If they're going to go out and you're looking at them and you know that person has been in prison and come out and has done this time for whatever this, that, and the other, and that you know that they're capable of doing some things, and you've seen them before beat the shit out of somebody to rob them for 20 quid to go and get a heroin hit. Yeah. So if you just give them the heroin hit so they don't beat someone, and it's a step towards helping the person moving forward. You're taking it in a very small scene. Is it okay this one time to get a homeless guy high? Is different than is it okay to give this homeless guy drugs as a means to gain trust to work forward to getting him off them? Life is nuanced, Dave. Life is so nuanced.
Yeah, this is
you're thinking too much into it. I think you just the moral, like, you know how some people won't give you
because
money.
Dave thought I wasn't.
I agree with Math Pig on this. I think there is more nuance to this than a straight or yes or no.
No, the nuance is more on society's side, I think.
Yeah. I would say in certain instances, I could probably see it being a bit more ethical to give booze or drugs to a homeless person than it is to give money to a homeless charity where it probably won't go to what it's supposed to fucking do anyway. You know.
Oh, this is my concern. At the end of the day, most people are quite happy to give money to homeless people.
Yeah.
And you equally don't. You may well just be giving them booze and drugs.
Obviously there is the legal issue to consider with drugs because you're supplying once you do that. But
well, assume you're not. Assume you're giving them the money but you know they're gonna spend it.
Yeah, but it's
Well, if that's the case, like even if you just gave them the money, you'd be giving them drugs. You just wouldn't. Typically, you wouldn't knowingly be doing it.
It's plausible deniability from a legal perspective, I suppose.
Exactly.
But even though you've got,
we're talking about legality here. We're talking
moral
about morality,
but
basically.
we're talking about an ethical issue here. Like I said, I don't think there's a straight yes or no to this. It's like answer.
Right. Let me quickly read the chat because there's a lot of opinions there. Firstly, Ginger Nations, thank you for your super chat, $5. Says thank you for the show today. It's been a long and shite. I'm assuming the day, not the show. Give us time. You are all the MVP in my opinion. Hashtag bring back the mankini. Someone's going to kill you.
no.
Doug says no. Addiction is an illness. Atheist Donna says nope, whatever keeps them warm. Never again says it isn't immoral, ethical, but wrong isn't the word I'd use. Tusk says no, I brought alcohol for homeless people in the past so they don't spend their own money on it. Crafty says roll a joint, never had exclusions in the song, so do you go against the song commands? I don't know the song. Anyone?
I thought the same.
Says, at a homeless person, to be honest, say, do you have spare change? I have to be honest with you. I'm going to use it for booze. I gave him the money for his honesty. Truish story. Hot damn. Are we talking hot damn and laxatives? That sounds evil. Get people help instead of locking them for possession. Totally agree. Never Again says, I gift money when I can afford to and let them choose how to use it. See, this was the thing I came up when I was thinking about this question, was the fact that you making a decision for someone else is very nannying in its own right.
It kind of reminds me of that storyline in season 3 of The Wire with the sort of drug zones where they basically let the dealers, they just effectively legalize drugs in these areas, and then, of course there was all sorts of problems with it, but at the same time there was like addicts were getting stuff like clean needles and stuff, that they weren't getting elsewhere. So
yeah.
So there was pros and cons with that particular approach,
I mean, it's one of those stupid things in this country that we did cover it in a previous question. It's with when they cut police funding, the police have fund things that are auxiliary. They're not primary frontline things. And one of the things they were funding were a drug room where you could go in and you could get fresh needles and you could hit up. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Right. And this was saving them a fortune. Just economically, this was saving them a fortune in having to deal with the problem on the streets.
Oh yeah, like I watched a documentary on that. It was like really interesting, and like it did save like a bunch of money, and also it, a lot of people, since they had a safe, clean place to do it, they were better at getting help because they weren't focusing a lot of their time on getting their next fix as well.
Thanks everybody for talking about the first thing I said. Appreciate it, trendsetter.
Thank you, Menda.
Well, let's talk about the fact that
bitch.
Go on.
Oh, stop taking Manda's side. One against me is bad enough without two is.
I gotta go with the winner.
The winner.
I know I've personally never been homeless before. We don't know what's gotten the person to become, to get to that point. Why begrudge them a little bit of comfort some night? Again, the nanny thing, you have no idea what a person is going through. It shouldn't be about telling them how they should live their life. If it gets them through one night, it gets them through one night. So.
Well, I drove a homeless man across the country and then picked him up the next day and drove him back across the country. And
I was about to read someone's comment about that.
What? Yeah. Well, I was giving nuance. Read the comment then. Go on.
No, it's all right. You go.
The comment just says I gave a homeless man booze in a bed and a free lift across Northern Ireland. I was just giving it a bit of nuance.
Yeah.
I also nearly hit him with my car, but that's his own fault for standing in the middle of a fucking a lay-by. When you go on to a motorway, he decides to stand in the middle of it with his thumb out. Like you join the motorway at 60 miles an hour and you turn the corner and it's like, fuck, there's a man in the middle of the road.
It did get him a ride though, so it worked.
The complete opposite direction. He was aiming for Dublin and I took him from Newry to Londonderry.
As far as you know, he might have actually been trying to go the opposite direction.
I do know. I picked him up and then I picked him up again the next morning and drove him back to Newry after giving him some booze in a bed and something to eat. And he left me his little drum. And Alina loves it. She plays with the drum all the time. He was on the show. Carlton had a conversation with him.
Yeah.
Cool.
I remember.
So stupid.
He's nuts. He was nuts. He was lovely.
Yeah. You let him stay in your house. You're an idiot.
Everybody was texting me at the time going, he is going to kill you.
Yes.
Never Again says, I've also given them food on many occasions. Geo Sam says, I wouldn't offer drugs or booze to a stranger, especially anyone who is homeless, with the exception of qualified medical attention / drugs. Never Again says, it's a matter of enabling an addict in their addiction, and if you give them money, they may or may not use it, but it's a gift. I would not ever give them drugs or alcohol.
A lot of the time, I don't have cash on me a lot, so there's been a few times, especially in Tucson, we had a big homeless problem. We don't really have. I live in the suburbs now, so we don't have that really here. So when I would go into the city in Tucson, and someone would ask, and then they would say, "Oh, I just want to get food." Which, sometimes, to be honest, sometimes not. I would just ask them what they wanted and buy them the food, with my credit card or whatever. So.
Tusk says, I've been homeless a few times and was always grateful if someone brought me a few beers. It didn't happen often, but it made my day a bit more bearable.
See?
Dog says, Dear Jeff, my wife refuses to entertain me and wear a Hulk costume in the bedroom while I wear the Batgirl costume. Is it because I'm mixing the comic book universes? Please help.
Please note the question I asked in the chat, Dave.
Oh, yeah. Was that in response?
Answer this one first.
Oh, okay. Dear Jeff, people keep asking me stupid questions about their sex life. Should I tell them just to have some self-respect and jack off?
No.
Your answer, Jeff?
That's the fucking question.
Yes. Have a little bit of fucking self-respect and just go jack off. Fuck's sake.
You can ask healthy sex questions and still be self-respecting, Jeff.
How are either of these questions healthy?
Yeah. There's the floor.
I was typing in the chat for 3 minutes.
Dave,
What
Dave, are you kink shaming? That's not nice, Dave. It's not nice to kink shame, Dave.
I'm not kink shaming.
Sure.
Either of the questions.
Yes,
no.
are. You just said that they were unhealthy.
No, I said the question was unhealthy. Asking about whether or not
the question is about their kinks, though, Dave. That means you're kink shaming.
No, the question was whether or not.
If we have kink shamed anybody, he's kink shaming himself, and I can confidently say that.
No. I'm going to defend Dave here. If they're dumb enough to ask me questions about their sex lives, fuck it, they deserve to get kink shamed.
Right, the question was not about the kink. The question was about whether or not the issue is mixing up comic book universes.
Well, maybe
the question is about giving a homeless person food.
Robbie. Let's go with this.
Yuhan says, decriminalization of drugs only helps. It eliminates the black market and makes it safer. Right, I'm going to have to skip to where we are. If I've missed anything important, can people re-tag me in it?
Fuck the chat.
Jenny! This is drifted off while we're... Would you give them booze or drugs?
Yes.
Ox!
That's a hard one. I would have to know their backstory before I gave them drugs or booze.
Well, would you give them money that they might use on drugs and booze?
I have in the past.
Money is guilt-free, though.
Yes.
Money is shifting the burden and allows you to not worry about it. That man bought McDonald's. No, he didn't.
I wouldn't want to give somebody drugs or booze, and then in the back of my mind knowing, well, what if they got drunk and walked out in front of a car? Or is the booze the reason they're homeless?
But the point is, you making a decision for them. You saying that you are making a morally better decision by not giving them it.
My decision would have to be what I felt was better for them. Give them money, get them a meal, help them find a place warm to sleep. Over giving them drugs or booze, yeah.
Okay, well, in that regard, so say that they do get drunk and walk out into the street and get killed that night. Had they not, what they didn't know and what you didn't know was that they had a massive tumor growing inside of them. And within a week's time, they would have had, been going through horrible, an illness and spent the rest of their life suffering. So you just saved them by getting them killed in the car accident. How about that? So you could keep going in layers on that.
If
Amanda, I like it when that dark side comes out in you.
you giving them the booze was likely not going to be the reason they walked in front of the fucking car in the first place. They were going to do that anyway. Most likely.
I don't know. It's just a touchy one for me.
I'm just saying, there's nuance a million. It's like fucking.
Oh yeah, if is a big word.
Yeah.
I mean, just personally, I would rather try to find them help for their situation than contributing to it.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
Sarcastic Barman says, best way to save them, is to have free healthcare. In regards to the cancer comment, I think free healthcare. I think the numbers of homeless people in the States in comparison to the US pretty much beats that.
Compared to the States and the US.
Yeah. Sorry, between the UK and the US.
Okay.
This is where I go, explanation mark, shushly, or was it woof?
Woof.
Shushly, we're streaming.
Sarah.
Dave, you need to get a bounce spot. You need to get a bounce spot.
If the answer is between yes and yes or no, my answer is or.
Uh-huh. Manda.
I said yes.
You said yes. See, it is a hard decision, and I think I'd probably err towards yes, just because their life is miserable. They're homeless. I can't imagine a worse situation, and I would like someone to take pity on me and buy me a drink.
Wait, no, my answer is going to be yes, because my or was because if I was depending on whether or not I can afford it. So in the question, I'm pretty sure I can afford it, so my answer is yes.
Excellent. Right. No, I'm missing nothing in particular. The UK has 280,000 homeless. The USA has 550,000 homeless. But we have 20% of the population. Okay, the UK's homeless population is for shit.
Yeah, it is. Has been for a long time.
Yeah, we need to do something about that. Crap, I didn't realise it was so bad.
We used to have one. We used to have one of the. Go back a long time ago. We used to have one of the lowest numbers of homelessness anywhere in the modern world. Now look at this. That's how fucked up. That's how fucked the UK has
Half of
become.
our population in the UK is homeless.
No, we have 20% of the population of the States.
Mm.
That's what he's saying. Not that we have 20%.
Yeah,
we have a fifth of the population, but we've got half the homeless people.
He's saying that proportionately we're worse than the United States.
Oh yeah, I get that. I
Yeah.
get that.
That's-
Just I looked up and I seen homeless, but we have 20% of the population, and I was like, 20% of our population is homeless. No, it's not.
How does that math work, Dave? If a fifth of the population were home,
No, they're not. We have a fifth of the US population.
No, I know, but you were trying to.
I just read it. I read it as it said. If you enjoyed that, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. If you think you've got a better answer or just want to tell us how wrong we are, leave a comment down below. Subscribe down here for new questions every day, and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on our live shows. If you click over here, you'll see our latest upload. Over here, for what YouTube thinks you'll love the most. And finally, for a complete playlist of all our currently released questions, click here.